The Sting 2, 1983, a forgotten sequel. The Sting 2 is the little-known and largely forgotten sequel to the Oscar-winning 1973 classic, The Sting. Directed by Jeremy Paul Kagan and written by David S. Ward, the screenwriter of the original film. The Sting 2 endeavors to recreate the charm, style, and intricate con artist plot of its predecessor. However, this effort arrives with an entirely new cast and received a mixed critical reception upon release. Basic information. The film, titled The Sting 2, was released on February 18, 1983. It was directed by Jeremy Kagan and written by David S. Ward. The original's iconic ragtime score by Marvin Hamlish, based on the works of Scott Joplin, was replaced with a new soundtrack by Lalo Schifrin, intended to match the film's updated 1940s setting. Universal Pictures handled distribution, and the final runtime is 102 minutes. Main cast. In this installment, Jackie Gleason appears as Fargo Gondorff, replacing Paul Newman's portrayal of Henry Gondorff. Mac Davis assumes the role of Jake Hooker, which was originally played by Robert Redford's character Johnny Hooker. The ensemble is rounded out by Teri Garr as Veronica, Karl Malden as Gus Macalinski, and Oliver Reed, now portraying Lonnegan, a role originally brought to life by Robert Shaw, though only the name remains unchanged. Plot summary. Sting 2 follows a new con orchestrated by the experienced Gondorff and his protégé, Jake Hooker. Together, they target the criminal underworld and seek retribution against Lonnegan, who is envisioned in this sequel as a boxing promoter. A complex con unfolds, involving rigged boxing matches, multiple double crosses, and hidden motives. As in the original, the film uses title cards to delineate each act of the con, such as the setup and the sting, offering numerous unexpected twists and reveals. Tone and style. The Sting 2 strives to emulate the tone of its predecessor through stylish period costumes, elaborate long cons, clever dialogue, and an ever-present sense that the characters conceal ulterior motives. Nevertheless, it is widely agreed that the sequel lacks the sophistication, charm, and chemistry of the original. Although the music shifts from Joplin-inspired ragtime to big band swing to fit the 1940s setting, the score did not achieve the same cultural resonance as the originals. Reception. The reception to The Sting 2 was modest, with its box office returns falling short of the original's blockbuster success. Critically, the film's response was generally negative to lukewarm. Many reviewers cited issues such as the complete recasting, the unaddressed change in timeline, and a plot perceived as a lesser echo of the original. Renowned critic Roger Ebert awarded it 2 stars, describing it as competently made, yet ultimately unnecessary. Trivia and notes. The Sting 2 is one of the rare direct sequels to a Best Picture winner. The Sting claimed 7 Academy Awards. Despite being penned by the same screenwriter, none of the original lead cast returned for the sequel. The leap in timeline from 1936 to the late 1940s is never explained. Notably, Mac Davis, who is primarily recognized for his career in country music, portrays the young con artist with a degree of charm, albeit not with full conviction. The boxing subplot, while reminiscent of classic sports dramas of the era, does not mesh seamlessly with the central con narrative. Why it is forgotten. Several factors have contributed to the film's obscurity. It was overshadowed by the continuing legacy of the original, suffered from the absence of Paul Newman and Robert Redford, and has been generally perceived as more of a commercial endeavor than an inspired follow-up. Released a full decade after its predecessor and without substantial audience anticipation, its potential was limited from the outset. Worth watching, The Sting 2 is by no means a poor film. It boasts respectable production values and a handful of clever surprises. However, it is widely regarded as lacking the brilliance, style, and star power that elevated The Sting to the status of an enduring classic. Ultimately, the sequel serves more as a cinematic curiosity, of interest primarily to aficionados of the con-man genre or those intrigued by neglected sequels and oddities in film history. Have you seen The Sting 2? Let us know in the comments and subscribe to Movies of the 80s for more of the most beloved and forgotten movies of the 1980s.